is I have hold of her, and you probably saw me in the round yard yesterday. I'll just do this with the bridle. So I'm going to be hold of her. So I've got two whips. I have a lash whip, right? Anyone that want to come out and feel what that feels like? No. So the lash whip here, you'll see, if I drop that down the side of her, that creates forward movement. Because I know I don't need to touch her with it, but if she was pretty dull, this here makes her active. You can see it as soon as it moves, right? Bring it over the top. When I'm using the lash whip, I'll go over the top a lot. So you've got two choices. A lot of the time we'll go underneath, like so. It's a little harder when you've got the rope, but I like coming over the top because what it does is makes the horse sit back off me. So I come over the top, so it's the same. Sit on your hind ends, because this mare here, she's a little downhill, so I have to work a lot on keeping her on her hind end. Good. Wait. Stop. Right, so you see here now, I'm livening her up. Good girl. Good girl. So it makes her sit. Can people see her sitting on her hind end when she does this? Is that a yes or a no? Yeah. Can people see that? Right, so the closer I can get her front and back legs together, see she wants to spread out a little bit there. So I'll back her up a little bit, teeter her back, and make her get on her hind. See how close her legs are to now? Really important. So you see, when a horse engages its hind end, it creates peace. So if the more engaged they are, the more peaceful they'll be, as long as they're centered. And being centered means that their mind is centered and they're straight. If the horse is leaning one way, it's going to make them anxious. It's really, really important. And I like to do lots of moving. Move them, hind end again, like Rob was saying in the break. Shoulders. Good. Shoulders. Hind end. Keep moving, make them think. Shoulders. Shoulders. Good. You see now I've got the horse's attention. And that's pretty much how it rolls. Over to you, to Catriona.
Hear me just yet. If anybody has any questions, yes, hello you. Coming up here. I've got to look after this side as well. Okay, far away.
Whoa.
Hey, I was just wondering, what is the purpose of teaching the paw in the lead up to the rear?
Say that again.
What's the purpose of teaching the paw in the lead up to the rear?
So when she gets in the air, she already understands how to move those front feet.
So it's to get the striking action
Correct.
in your rear? Yeah.
Correct. So if I'm in here, I'll say, hey, that there, she's a little bit sticky today, but that's good. So you just get that, and I like it each side.
So do you have a separate cue if you want just a straight up rear without the stripe?
I never do that.
Okay.
I want them to use it because it helps them with their balance.
Yeah, okay.
Balance.
Do you understand that? Because that came up yesterday as well. I know that somebody asked as well about can you do a straight one? Can you have the
You can. I did a job in Turkey a couple of years ago, a racehorse film, and I had to have an actor holding on to the horse. And I made sure I just taught the horse to rear without having it strike out, because I was worried about the horse getting its leg over the lead rope. You know, because the actor is in here holding on, it's going to look wild. But, you know, I can, once you get them rearing, you can kind of, once they really understand it, you can then just sort of half cue them. So they're not giving you a full-on rear, you just less energy you put towards the horse.
Another question here.
Hello.
Hey, how you going?
Hi. Is there a particular breed of horse or a particular sex, male or female, that you prefer to work with?
I love quarter horses. And I think for the film work, they're actually the best minded horse for it. They're brilliant. But most horses I've ever used on a film, especially for Liberty, have actually been thoroughbreds. So because of you go and do a job, say especially the overseas job, you'll be doing that, and they've already chose the start, you know, and you might go there, like I said the other day, it's like, oh, he's not that trainable because he's got a lot of nonsense and a lot of bad habits. But you have to work out how you're going to make a star out of it. It's just it. But if I have the choice, quarter horses or Andalusians, I love them.
And male or female?
I don't care. It's always, females always tend to come my way. I don't know what that is.
Can't live with it, can't live without it.
Whatever.
I've got another question down here, Cody. Cody, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit because even though you and I talked about the fact that you must be the centre of confidence,
it must be the centre of confidence without arrogance. It's really important that if you're going to work on a film set, you don't come across as it's my way or the highway.
Yeah.
It's really important that you don't come across with that attitude because
you won't be hired again.
Hey?
You won't be hired again.
No, you create resistance, and then that's it. You've got to make sure that you're very willing to embrace the director's vision.
Yes.
And if you try and direct the film, you're not doing your job.
Yes.
You are employed as the nuts and bolts. There's the vision. That's the creative. My job is to work out the nuts and bolts, how to create the vision.
I noticed you got 2 different looking whips in your hand.
Yes. So, very good question. I like that one. So, you'll see that I swap them a lot, right? And so, this whip here is really, I try to actually not drop that. You probably notice I actually don't drop that lash out there very much because it really goes back to creating what I've trained it to do. So this whip is a control whip. The straight whip, which doesn't have the lash, is my cue whip, right? So I'm asking her to paw or rear, right? So if I'm asking her to do something like that, it's always the straight whip, right? And then I want to make sure that everything works on the left and everything works on the right. It's all about being balanced. You know, you must be just totally hooked on, and it's not. Let me teach you to weave back. Yeah, good. Sorry, keep going.
That's so interesting. That was such a good question, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Very good question.
I've got another one here. No pressure.
Do you ever work with people and their horses?
Yeah, that's actually is my business as we speak. I work continually I'm down on the Central Coast, so I'm continually working with mainly dressage horses or jumping horses. That is what I did, especially over COVID, because the film industry went.
Yeah.
So I virtually, over COVID, has actually created a whole new business for me. So I either teaching horses piaffe, dressage, or training dressage of horses. I'm doing them all day, every day. So if people with problem horses want to jack up or run backwards or whatever, I go there and I help them, and before you know it, you got the person's canting around smiling in a week or two, rather than being petrified.
And that's so interesting because all of us over the last 2 years have had to adapt to a new normal. And I touched on the fact that Cody was based in chilly Victoria, very, very chilly Victoria, because that's where the film sets were. That's where the movie work was. And then, as you say, over the last 2 years, you've adapted, you've moved.
Yes.
Now, the girls have actually asked how they can get hold of you. Well, you've signed up for the seminar, he's here, and so you can ask him that directly after, but of course...
Yeah, so that is what I'm doing mainly at the moment, and I'm really liking it. I love helping people with horses. I love the connection. I love seeing people build from going from nervous, they're like, oh, I don't want to get on it, it's too scary, you know, just shaking, putting their foot in the stirrup, and then before you know it, they're just canting around, happy as Larry.
You've found your joy.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay then.
Perfect.
Time's up!
Time's up! Oh, hang on, wait a minute. All right, hang on 1 second. We'll see if we can get something else on. Good girl. Yeah. All right. Can I give these back to you, Heidi? I'm going to leave and leave everybody else here, and you guys stay in the seats, and I'm getting out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please get a round of applause for our Mr. Hollywood, Cody Rawson Harris. Thank you so much. Thank you for putting up with my hopeless acting and directing. And I think we need a round of applause for Tequila once again as well. Tequila is our true superstar, who has us absolutely in awe as he rides off into the sunset.
Thank you.
Our final shot of the day. Woohoo! All right.